Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and hello if you're new here, welcome. Hi, my name is Holly Boone. Make sure to thumbs the video up. Please subscribe, that helps me out loads. I really appreciate it. Also, I am going to be uploading every Wednesday and every Sunday now at 5 PM, so make sure you turn on your post notifications. Yes to being a consistent YouTuber, yes to that. So for today's video, this has been a highly requested video for such a long time. Since I was living in that house and I used to open up to you guys about little things that would happen, or I would say to you guys that there was a presence in my old house. Like since then, you've all wanted to know what went on, what happened, all of that stuff. And I've put it off, but I'm gonna film it today, obviously. And I wanted to wait until I wasn't living there anymore to film it, because I felt like if I was to film this video whilst I was in that house, I would just scare myself and be worried that something really bad was gonna happen to me. I have been out of that house now since June last year, so I am now in my current apartment and I love it here. The energy is good, the vibes is good. I've had no problems, no paranormal shit, nothing bad has happened to me since I've been in this apartment. So yes, I feel really good and I feel fine opening up about this whole situation. Also, before I get into the whole thing, I just wanted to say, if you are someone that does not believe in spirits, please go into this video with an open mind, because I never ever used to believe in it. So firstly, I just want to explain a little bit about the house so you guys can kind of get a visual idea of what the house looked like and all of that stuff, because I feel like it's relevant to the whole thing. I can't show you pictures because there are people living in that house now and I don't want to violate anyone's privacy or anything like that, just in case anyone could find out where the house was. I'm not going to do that. This house was a very old semi-detached house. When I was first moving in, it was, the kitchen was like something from the 70s, like it was old. The living room had like the flowery, bumpy wallpaper from back in the day. Like it was just an old house, but I liked it. It had character, it was cute, had beamed ceilings, brick fireplace. Like it was a nice house, it was a nice house. So me and my mum spent the summer doing the house up. We fitted a new kitchen, flooring, everything. We did the carpet, literally did the whole place up. Like it looked so good when we were finished. It was a really good project. Like I said, the house was really old and semi-detached. The house that it was attached to belonged to an old man, rest in peace. He died several years before I actually moved in, but all of his belongings was still left in the house. All of his stuff was still there. His car was still in the car park around the back of the house. I don't know what happens when, I feel like if you was to pass away and then you don't have any family, that's when kind of all your stuff is just left. I don't feel like they really do anything about it. It's really strange. So this house is just abandoned, the one that's attached to mine. All of his things, like I said, all of his belongings were still in there. His car was still in the car park, have weeds all growing around it. Like it was completely abandoned. I know that there were some people living near me that tried to message the council and ask if the car could be moved and stuff, but it's all just goes through a whole legal process. Apparently it's quite a long thing. So that was the house that I was attached to. I don't think that had anything to do with the situation or the things that happened to me, but I will tell you some things that happened in that house that was attached to me, things that I would hear. I will explain in this video as well. The first 4 months of me living there, I didn't experience anything abnormal. The only thing I would say about that house is it was so hard to get any natural daylight in, because the house that I was attached to was kind of blocking the sun from that side, and then there was like a gap the other side of the house, and there was 2 other semi-detached houses that were blocking the sunlight from that side. So, and the windows was really small. So my living room used to feel like a cave. Like I always used to say to my friends, I feel like I'm living in a cave. There's like hardly any natural daylight in here. It's always dark. Like it just used to feel a bit strange, but that's like the only thing. That's nothing to do with this, but that's how it used to feel anyway. So yeah, first 4 months, nothing happened. I would say 4.5 months into living there, I experienced something a little bit strange one night, but I didn't really deep it. I kind of brushed it off because, like I said, I never used to believe in this shit. So I kind of just brushed it off and was just like, oh, whatever. So one night I was in my kitchen. This was like 9-10 PM, just making some food. I always used to eat really late. Cooking some food in my kitchen late at night. and I felt like there was something there. Like, it's almost like as human beings we get this instinct or this gut feeling or this weird feeling that I cannot describe, but it's like you sense something but you obviously can't see it. Like, you sense it but you can't see it. It's really strange. So I could just sense that there was something there, but I kind of played it off in my head because I thought, I'm just overthinking. I live on my own. I'm in my kitchen late at night. Like, I'm just overthinking it. It's nothing. So I just played that off. That was all whatever. Anyway, the first major thing that happened to me, this night, I genuinely thought there was somebody in my house. This was the first major thing that happened to me. This was about 5 months into living in the house. So my living room space was really small. The house was really small. So the staircase would come down into the living room, and the only place that I could put my sofa would be underneath the staircase. So I had my sofa underneath the staircase and then had like my TV and everything the other side where the fireplace was. So anyway, I'm sat on my sofa underneath the staircase. This is late at night. It's like 11 o'clock. I'm watching some random shit on Netflix or whatever I was doing. Just watching TV, and I heard someone run up my staircase. Like boom, 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 like run up my staircase. Bearing in mind, I'm sat under the staircase on the sofa, so it sounds like, you can imagine, like it sounded loud. First initial thought was, I was like, someone is in my house. Someone's in my fucking house. Like, what am I gonna do? I live on my own. I'm scared. I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, so I just freeze. I'm sat there. I'm like, fuck. Turn the TV off because I thought, let me just see if I can hear anything else. Like, turn the TV off so it's dead silent. Couldn't hear anything after that. It was really weird. It was just really, really, really quiet. Me being stupid, like, I'm sorry, if there's someone in your house, don't do this. I started going, hello, like, I just started shouting hello. Because I kept thinking, fuck, there is someone in my house, 100% someone in my house. Anyway, because I'm sat on the sofa underneath the staircase, I'm thinking, I don't know if I can come out from underneath here and look, because in my head I'm thinking, I've watched too many serial killer movies. I'm thinking there's someone sat on my staircase there waiting for me to come out and they're gonna do something. Like, I'm shook. I don't know what to do. I'm froze. I'm sat there. I'm like in my head thinking all these scenarios are gonna happen. I'm like, someone's in my fucking house. I'm gonna die. Like, what's going on? Anyway, I just sat there in silence. What felt like 20 minutes. It was probably like 5-10 minutes. But you know when you're scared, it just feels 10 times longer. So anyway, I'm sat there and I'm just like, I've got to look around my house. I live on my own. What am I gonna do? Like, I've got to find out if there's someone in my house. Do you know what I mean? So I rang my best friend. I didn't tell her anything that I'd heard. I didn't tell her anything. I just wanted someone to make me feel at ease, like just have a normal girly conversation. It would kind of relax me, distract me. So I was like, let me just ring her, speak to her about normal life. Don't tell her what's happened, and then just go and look around my house. So I'm on the phone to her, and then I start feeling a bit more relaxed as we're just laughing and joking. And then I start looking around my house. My house is tiny. You can't hide anywhere. My house is so small. So anyway, I start looking around the house, can't see anything, literally can't see anything. I'm looking in the cupboards, I'm looking in the spare room, I'm looking everywhere, right? Everywhere in this house, and there's nothing. There's no one, there's nothing. I even looked around my kitchen, and listen, you had to go that way to get to my kitchen, and the staircase was this way. So there's no way there was gonna be someone in my kitchen, but I just looked everywhere, no one in my house. Then I started thinking to myself, okay, have I just actually imagined this, or did this actually happen? Like, I started tripping, thinking, am I going crazy, or did someone just run up my staircase? Like, I was like, what the hell? So that was like the first major thing that happened that made me shook. Little things in the meantime would happen where I would place something somewhere in my house, knowing full well that I've put it there, and then it would just vanish. Like, it would just go, and then it would just reappear. Like, things would go missing all the time. I would lose things like every day in that house, and then they just reappear, and I'd be like, what? I checked there, what the hell? Just like little random things like that. Anyway, one night I'm laying in bed. This was about 2 weeks after this happened, the staircase thing. It was about 2-3 weeks after that. I'm laying in bed. I don't have a TV in my bedroom at this point. I never used to like having a TV in my room because I just used to like to go to bed and read or like not be distracted. So I never had a TV in my room, so I used to go to bed and just, it would be completely silent. Anyway, I'm in bed, it's late, like there's no windows in my house open. None, absolutely none. Why is it that I feel this breeze, like a breeze, like almost come past me? Like, I'm sat up in bed like this, just chilling, reading. I think I was reading it on my phone, one or the other. And I just feel this breeze And I was just like, so many times things like this would happen, and I'd actually think I was going crazy. Like, I'd actually think, like, am I actually losing the plot, or is this happening to me? I'm so confused. That was another thing that made me quite shook, because I was like, it don't make sense. The windows are shut. What is going on? Why is there a breeze? I don't get it. I'm so confused. Anyway, the next major thing that happened was my best friend used to stay at mine all the time. Like, she used to basically live at mine. She'd stay at mine all the time. Every time she'd come around, she'd always end up falling asleep on my sofa. Like, we'd be on the sofa watching a film. She'd end up falling asleep. So she'd fall asleep. I'd just go upstairs, have a shower, get in bed, whatever. Anyway, went upstairs, had a shower, got in bed. Lauren used to always come up to bed at like 2, 3 in the morning. She'd just wake up on the sofa and then crawl herself upstairs to bed. So I'm just in bed. I used to always stay awake till stupid o'clock in the morning, by the way. Like, I used to stay up till late all the time. So anyway, Lauren comes crawling up to bed at like 2 AM one night, and she was like, Holly, have you been walking around upstairs? I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I can just hear someone like going like upstairs, walking around, like on the landing. Like, what are you doing? I said, what do you mean? I said, I haven't moved. I've been literally laying here still on my phone or whatever I was doing. I was just in the bed. I didn't get out of the bed at all. And she's like, but this is 2 AM. I had a shower at like 10 and got in bed at like 10, 11. This is at 2 AM. I had not moved from my bed since like 11 o'clock. She was like, yeah, I just heard like a minute ago, like people walking around, like you walking around, so it woke me up. And I was like, what the fuck? That was another thing I was like, what the fuck? Because I had not got out of bed. And I'd heard someone run up the stairs before, so I started tripping, thinking, shit, she's heard something like what I heard that time. Anyway, there was another time when Lauren stayed at mine, and all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, she got up out of bed. I used to have blackout curtains in my bedroom. I had blackout curtains. She literally got up out of bed, ran over to the window, opened the things and was like, I need to get out, I need to get out, I need to get out. I was like, whoa, what is going on? What is going on? What the fuck? And she was like, Holly, I just felt like I needed to get out. Like, I didn't know how to get out and I needed to get out. And I was like, what are you talking about? Anyway, she has never in her life slept walk or done anything like that in her life. She's like, Holly, that's never happened to me. I've never done anything like that in my life. So I started thinking, what the hell? Like, why has that just happened? I'm so confused. So that happened as well. Then the next thing that happened, loads of things happened when Lauren was at mine. Lauren experienced things as well. So there was another time when this one was fucking scary. Like, this one actually had us shook. Like, we actually had to sleep under the covers. Like, we was shook. This was like, I don't even know when this was, but this was later on anyway. Maybe like a month later. I can't even remember. Lauren was staying at mine, and we was like, fuck it, let's bring the TV from downstairs, bring it upstairs, let's watch TV in bed, have a movie night in bed, whatever, get snacks. We was doing that. We was laughing at this film we was watching, like just having a good time. It was late, just proper laughing together. All of a sudden, so where my bedroom was, the door's here, and then just outside the door here is the landing. A very, very, very small landing, but the little latch thing for the attic was on the landing, and it had like a ladder thing that you could pull down, you can go in the attic, right? So the attic door, all of a sudden, this is at whatever time, late at night, watching TV in bed, watching a film, the door from the attic just swings down all the way around and goes bang and hits the ceiling. Like, the loudest bang I've ever heard in my life. Like, it scared the living daylights out of me and her. We were both so shook, like, what is going on? The attic door's just gone bang, like round, swung, hit the ceiling. And then it's just hanging like this. I can see it. I can like literally peek out of bed like this and look on the landing. I can see it hanging down. I was like, oh my fucking God, it was late. I was like, do you know what? I'm just going under the covers. I'm going to sleep. I'm dealing with this tomorrow. Because if you live in a house where you have like a little door and you can see in your attic, that shit's scary as fuck at night. Like, it's so dark up there and spooky and just and cold. Like, it's just nasty. Like, it's just scary. So I was like, I'm just going to deal with this in the morning when it's daylight. I can't deal with this right now. I'm so scared. So we ended up just going to sleep. Whatever, that was just so fucking weird. Oh, there was another incident where Lauren was having a shower at mine, And she came out the shower and she said to me, Holly, I feel like someone was watching me in the shower. I said, what do you mean? She's like, I feel like someone was actually watching me take a shower. Weird as hell. It's so weird. Lauren always used to like misplace things in my house. Like she'd lose things and then they just reappear. Like so weird. Anyway, this next thing was the worst thing that's happened to me from living there. This was the worst experience that I've ever had. I've never experienced this ever in my life. So my friend Jess and Lauren was at mine. I think we was going out the next day or whatever. So they was upstairs in my room, like looking for outfits to wear. I think Lauren was like trying on clothes or something, because Lauren used to always use my clothes. I think they was upstairs trying stuff on and I was downstairs. I'd fallen asleep because we was watching like a little Netflix series or whatever we was watching, and I'd fallen asleep on the sofa. I used to fall asleep on the sofa in the daytime, have naps all the time. Always used to fall asleep on my sofa. That's nothing new. Used to do that all the time. Anyway, those two have gone upstairs, whatever they're doing. I'm laying on the sofa having a nap and I experienced sleep paralysis. If you know what sleep paralysis is, it's the scariest thing ever. Like I have never in my whole 26 years on this planet ever experienced that until that time. That was the one time I ever experienced it and it was so scary. So I'm laying on my sofa, my brain is awake, my whole body is paralyzed and I feel like someone is on top of me and trying to suffocate me. Like it was like someone's pushing on me here, my whole body, I can't move, I can't shout. Like in my head, I'm trying to like scream help, like I'm shouting help in my head, but nothing's coming out my mouth. Like my whole body is paralyzed, but my mind is completely awake. I can hear the girls upstairs having a conversation. Like my mind is awake, I can hear them, but I just can't move my body, I'm stuck. So anyway, I started panicking because I've never experienced that ever. Like I started panicking, it was getting worse. It felt like it had gone on for literally, if you've ever had that, it feels like it goes on for like 20 minutes, but I think it only goes on for like a few minutes, but it feels like it goes on forever. It's the worst thing ever. So anyway, I'm laying there and I'm just thinking to myself, right, in my head, I'm thinking, just breathe, like try and relax and then hopefully it will end and hopefully I'll be all right. But if you've ever experienced it, it feels like you're gonna die. Like I'm not even joking. It is so scary. Anyway, I just was like, let me just relax. Like, when I'm like trying to fight it, it's like it was getting worse. So anyway, I started to relax and obviously then I started to come out of it. The girls came downstairs. I was like, girls, like come down here. They were like, what? I was like, I have just had this thing happen to me. At the time, I didn't know it was called sleep paralysis. I had to Google it. I was like, the weirdest thing has just happened to me. It was like my mind was awake, my body was like paralyzed. Like it was like something was like on me. Like something was on top of me. It was the weirdest thing ever. Them two was just like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, obviously they didn't know what I meant. They were like, what are you going on about? I was like, nah, that was the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me, like the scariest thing. So yeah, I experienced sleep paralysis in that house. Never experienced that in my life. So another thing, the house that was attached to me that I said to you guys belonged to that old man that unfortunately passed away. Weird things, like I would hear things because the walls was very thin. If you live in a semi-detached house, I guarantee you can probably hear, if someone was to shout in the other house, you'd be able to hear it, or if someone was to put music on, you can hear it. Like it's not like you can't hear, like you can hear things that go on in the house that you're attached to. The walls aren't that thick. So anyway, I would hear like things in that house all the time. Like I would hear things in the house attached to me and I would think, what, that's really weird. I used to think that maybe squatters, you know how people go and like squat in houses, like I didn't know if there was people in there that was doing that or whatever. I didn't really know. I just thought like whatever. I thought there was people in there anyway. Maybe homeless people had managed to get in and was sleeping in there or something. Like that's what I thought. That's literally what I thought. And I remember one night I was driving back to my house. I'd been somewhere, I can't remember, but I was driving back to my house and I used to go slightly past my house to turn around and then come in this way, or sometimes I'd park on the side of the road if I knew I was going to be in my car early. So I parked my car on the side of the road and I looked over and the lights was on in the house next to me, and I thought, that's really weird, like why are the lights on? Like no one lives there, it's just an abandoned house. That's when I just started thinking, oh well, maybe like there is people in there, like maybe like the homeless people have managed to get in there and they're sleeping in there, or you know, maybe something like that. I didn't know. I found out from someone that he didn't have any relatives, the guy that had died there. That's why the house had been left there like that. And no one had been in that house. Like the lights would come on sometimes. Even other neighbours would see it as well. They'd be like, the lights are on in there, that's weird. And then people would be like, oh, it's an old building, maybe like the electrics is a bit weird, like so sometimes the lights would come on, or maybe they're on a timer. And I used to think, well, they couldn't be on a timer because there was like months and months and months and months where the lights would never come on. Never saw the lights go on once. The only time I saw the lights go on was maybe like 6-7 months into living in my house. The lights started coming on next door. Very strange. Anyway, so when I was living in that house and the spirits and all these things, my energy in that house was so off. Like, as in, I used to feel drained all the time if I was in the house. Like, I would feel like someone was sucking the life out of me. I couldn't get out of bed sometimes all day. Like, I just would feel so tired, lethargic. Like, even I could literally have 12 hours sleep at night, wake up, and I would still feel tired. Like, that house was like draining something out of me. And I used to tell you guys all the time in my old videos, like, I felt like something was draining something out of me. It was so weird. Anyway, I went for a reading when I was in LA. This is the first reading I've ever had in my life. I've always been too scared to do that because if you believe in God and stuff, like, you're not supposed to go for readings. It's not something that you're supposed to do. But anyway, you know when you're on a girls trip and you're just like, oh, fuck it, like, anything goes. Anything goes when you're on a girls trip. You just have a bit of a mad one and anything goes. Anyway, we're in LA, we're walking down Melrose, and a couple of my friends have had readings before and they saw this like walk-in place where you go get a reading. I wish I didn't do this. I wish I did not do this. Anyway, we went for this reading and we all had bad experiences. The woman was not legit, I don't think. She was telling us some crazy things. I'm not gonna lie, I laughed it off because I just thought, oh, it's bullshit. Like, she's literally talking shit. She don't even know what she's talking about. This woman's eyes, when she was looking into me, was like she was looking into my soul. Like, it was just the most weirdest thing ever. I remember Alicia walked out. She's like, I'm not doing this. She's like, I'm walking out, I'm not doing this. But stupidly, me, Ariana, Ellie, Lucy didn't. Yeah, it's just me, Ariana, and Ellie decided to get readings. Anyway, worst experience of my life. After that, I felt like I wanted to go for another reading, just like a really good one in the UK, just to kind of undo whatever the hell that woman did to me. I felt like she put some curse on me or some shit. Like, I was just like deep in it too much. I was like, I need to go to another person and unwind and undo whatever that woman did to me, because I found out she was looking into my soul. It was crazy. Anyway, Ariana and Ellie had drove like hours to go and see this woman that does readings down south. I was living down south at the time. They live up north. They drove far to go and see this woman and said how amazing she was. Like, she was so amazing. And I was like, do you know what? She's closer to me because I was living down south. She was only an hour from me. I was like, let me go see this woman because I wanted to go and do a reading. Since the last one was so fucked, like, I felt like I needed to go and undo whatever she did, like I said. So I went for a reading and I was there for about 2 hours. Everything this woman was saying was so crazy. Like, everything was so on point. I was genuinely shocked. Like, it was crazy what she was telling me. Anyway, she said to me that I have bad energy in my house. I didn't mention anything about my house to this woman, nothing. I didn't even tell her that I lived in the house. I didn't tell her anything. She didn't even know I lived on my own or anything. I didn't tell her anything. She did not know. And she literally said to me, you've got bad energy in your house. I need to give you this crystal. Put it in your bathroom. I was like, wait, what? So she gave me this crystal. She told me, put this on the windowsill in your bathroom and it will help. And I was like, what the fuck? How does she know that? That's so weird. Yeah, another weird thing that happened amongst all of this is I remember I came on my Instagram story one time and I was talking to you guys about something that happened. I was filming a YouTube video one time, and I was going to edit it. And when I went to edit it, I started hearing all these weird noises in the background that my camera had picked up all these little noises. And at the time when I was filming it, I didn't hear anything, but I only picked up on it when I started editing the video. So I shared it on my story and was like, guys, listen to this noise in the background. Like, what the hell is this noise? It was like a little bit like a growling noise. It was a weird noise. Anyway, I put that on my Instagram story and just told you guys, because I always used to share like little things with you all. And anyway, this woman who actually used to live in the house before me, she sent me a direct message on Instagram, and just said that, she said, it's so weird that you've experienced things in this house, because when I lived there, I always used to experience things and I thought it was just me. when she said that, I was like, do you know what, this has actually solidified it for me that this house has got weird energy, because or there's some spirit here, or there's someone here just trying to fuck with me. Like, I was like, this is solidified it for me, because she lived here before me and she said the exact same thing that I said. She thought she was going crazy, but these weird things was happening to her, like so many weird things happened to her. So it kind of just made it a bit more like, oh, okay, I actually do think there's something here now. So that is literally what happened to me whilst living in that house. There was loads more things that happened, but if I talk about everything, we're going to be here literally all day talking about this. But those are just the things that were like, for me, like the major things that happened where I was shook like, every time. Like there'd be, like I said, little things that would happen where I would just kind of like in my head think that's fucking weird, but then I'd just like play it off like in my head, like, oh fuck it, it's fine. But things that actually had me shook, like I explained in this video. So yeah, if you have experienced anything strange, I don't like to say the house was haunted, because it didn't feel like it's haunted, like there's loads of different spirits in there or loads of different presences, but there was definitely one presence in that house. I don't know if this presence or this spirit had lived there years ago and was just like I said, playing games or just playing jokes on me or whatever, I don't know, trying to just scare me, or if, I don't know, it's weird. It's very, very, very weird. But since I have moved into my new apartment, I have felt so different. My energy is back. I feel good. Like, I love this space. I never feel uneasy. Nothing ever happens here. Like, I love it. It feels amazing. So I definitely think your living environment is so important. If you sense anything, if loads of weird things are happening, if your energy feels off, like I'm telling you, you're not crazy. I used to think I was crazy. If you have had anything ever happen to you, or you've experienced anything, please comment down below in the description box. I would love to hear your stories, because I really genuinely, after going through that, like I genuinely believe that there is a way that people can come back in some form, like a spirit form. Like I genuinely do actually believe that now. I never used to. So yeah, if anything's ever happened to you, I'd love to know. Please comment your stories down below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay safe. I hope you're all well. Yeah, let me know any other videos you would like to see down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.